It's the Madame, the Exotical tax collector, and we have subscriber mail. So that's when my subscribers email me and I share their exotical stories with the rest of my subscribers. And if you want to share your story with me, just go ahead and email me at sacredsayen, SACRED SAYEN@gmail.com. Now, let's get into this beautiful Exoticals story time. And when I read this email, I was like, I just have to share her story because this is the real, raw, authentic truth of what our fellow Exoticals are experiencing out here. So we should know what they are experiencing. The email says, "Hello, the Madame, the Exotical tax collector. I have been binge watching your YouTube videos for 3 weeks now, and I agree with all of your talking points, especially your video about being a nonchalant observer in order to protect your peace. I wanted to share my story about how my dark exotical friend turned on me and how I used your social climbing tactic of being a nonchalant observer to detach myself safely from their envious and judgmental hold on me. I'm a light-skinned woman with a slim hourglass shape, and my eyes are light green. My mother is French and my father is a white-passing Brazilian. My dark exotical friend had a bad body with 4C4A hair, but claims to be thick and curvy, which is the furthest from the truth. I met her at a seminar for female entrepreneurs to network and learn from each other. Her microaggressions and passive-aggressive behaviors towards me became more obvious. And as someone who also is an entrepreneur, I definitely have experienced this. And when you're in a space where you feel like, oh my God, we're going to have camaraderie because this woman is an exotical just like me, that is not always the case. Like, there are dark exoticals that will hate on you, use and abuse you, and try to siphon off of, your greatness and just trying to take advantage as much as they can of you. And that's one thing I want to say is, like, when you are light-skinned and you do have a good body, like, bad-bodied, darker-skinned women want to police us. They want to vicariously live through us by becoming our friends, by becoming our partners even. So let's continue on with this video in which she says. And she says here, her microaggressions and passive-aggressive behaviors toward me became more obvious as we began to hang out. The first incident occurred at church when the MLS single teen pastor acknowledged how beautiful I was and completely ignored her due to sensing her thirsty motives towards him. And during our meal after church, she began hurtling uncomfortable questions at me, like, what's your ideal man? Do you want to sleep with Pastor Ryan? What's your favorite sex position? How would you describe yourself in bed? How would you describe the appearance of your vagina? I was truly shocked at her audacious behavior to question me, especially on the Lord's day of all days. I told her that I am a private person when it comes to my sex life and that I had zero interest in Pastor Ryan, and she looked relieved and relaxed after having to defend myself to someone who has no right to question me or my motives. She began pursuing him in an animalistic manner outside of church, which led him to putting a restraining order on her and even having her exiled from the church due to her Jezebel spirit. She began dating this unambiguous black dark-skinned man who was known to be a player. Wow. Just hearing that alone, that she literally, this woman, this dark exotical woman literally had a restraining order put on her by a teen pastor, MLS man. Like, do you know how bad that looks? Like, and let's not even get into the part where she's even asking about the appearance of her vagina. Like, ma'am, you have no right to know that. Like, only my mother should probably know that because she wiped my butt. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, no one should just boldly ask you, oh, what favorite sex positions? Are you interested in this pastor? Like, And it's the fact that this woman looked relieved and relaxed after she had to defend herself. Like, we do not have to defend ourselves against these women. Like, it is super disrespectful to sit up here and ask me about my sexual preferences or, you know, anything of that nature. That has nothing to do with you. And it's just so disgusting and distasteful, especially on the Lord's day of all days, like she said. Like, this is Sunday, guys, and she's like going off the deep end, asking this girl about like the appearance of her vagina. Like, do you know how like intrusive that is? Like, how disgusting that is? And we're eating food? Like, come on. But let's continue on. She says here, an unambiguous dark-skinned man who was known to be a player in the community at large, and she would come to me and cry her dark-skinned tears about how he got his baby mama pregnant again, and how she felt unclean for having orgies and threesomes with him to keep him around, which ended up backfiring on her in the worst way. He began stealing her credit cards and messed up her credit by purchasing clothes, food, and even a vehicle for his baby mama. Now, hold on. This man done sat up here and purchased clothes, food, and even a vehicle, probably even the fucking rent, on this woman's credit card, y'all. The credit card. Okay, but let me continue. Because I'm just so done with the credit card part. And then the orgies and the threesomes to keep him around. Baby, you already knew that was going to backfire. Like, these unambiguous, but like these black women or these dark-skinned women really think that their coochies are so good, that their pussies are so good that they can just go over here and put it on them and everything is good. Sweetheart, it takes more than that, okay? It takes more than that to keep a man. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. Let's continue, and it says here, when he was done with making a come up off of her, it got ugly. The second incident was when she was thrown out into the street at 2 a.m. by her unambiguous black dark-skinned boyfriend, and I allowed her to stay at my Airbnb out of the kindness of my heart, which ended up costing me over $250,000 due to her having a freak-off party that was unbeknownst to me until my neighbors contacted the police and me for hearing gunshots inside my Airbnb. And these drugged up and drunk unambiguous black men and women damaged my property after 2 weeks of her staying there. My walls of my Airbnb had bullet holes, and the entire house was trashed. Hennessy bottles broken around the pool, and even used condoms were in the pool floating. Now hold on, not the used condoms floating in the pool. I'm so fucking done by this I am so outdone by this email. You guys, I am so outdone because this is like a raw, authentic truth being shown here of how these unambiguous black women, or these black women who might have a little texturism or a little featureism going for them, how they will use Exoticals to like boost their lifestyle. Like, this girl was probably acting like this was her place and shit, and acting like, oh yeah, it's all cool for you guys to come in here and do whatever you want to do. Having a freak off party. Like, are you fucking serious? I remembered in that significant moment your video about being a nonchalant observer, and I remained relaxed and had her escorted off my property and filed a restraining order. Wow, I am so happy and proud of you that you literally kept your cool, kept your calm, and allowed yourself to like not become dysregulated even further from what you were seeing. And I'm so proud of you, girl. But let's go ahead and like finish up this email. And I want to give some more commentary after I finish. And it says here, I remained relaxed and had her escorted off my property and filed a restraining order, which helped me in the end because I kept my cool. If I hadn't kept my cool, I would have gone to jail that night over a person who doesn't value or respect me. I am more than happy to no longer be associated with her, nor do I trust any dark-skinned woman around me, and I stay in more classy and refined environments with multicultural people who have my best interest at heart. Thank you so much for your wisdom and healing insight on tops that on topics that are exotical centered. Stay beautiful, the Madame, the exotical tax collector. And I just want to say thank you so much for, your beautiful energy at the end of your email. And thank you so much for sharing your story so other exoticals who might be experiencing the same thing in their friendship dynamics with darker exoticals, where they might be taken advantage of, or where they're, trying to just be a good friend to their friend that's just fallen on hard times. And she used this, as a chance to take advantage of her property. Like $250,000 is a lot of money, baby. That's like $250,000 in damages. And it's like Airbnbs are not cheap. And she must be a super host, like, in order to be like having the place so beautiful to the point where it just got fucking obliterated and destroyed by these reckless, destructive, and toxic, unambiguous black men and women who probably were telling her dark exotical friend, like, fuck that light skinned bitch. Let's go ahead and sex it up and party up on her property. She won't know. But of course she ended up finding out because her neighbor ended up calling her and the police. Like, that is the most disturbing thing, to wake up in the middle of the night, or you're at the grocery store or wherever you are and whatever you're doing, and you get a call from your neighbor talking about they're shooting up the place over here. Like, that is so disgusting. And I'm truly no longer a fan or friends with darker skinned women or dark skinned exoticals. Like, you bitches could burn in hell with the unambiguous black women for all I fucking care. And I don't give a damn if you call me racist. I don't give a damn if you call me colorist. Guess what? I'm gonna protect my fucking peace in my colorist, racist ass mind, okay? How about those apples? Since you guys want to keep on trying to portray us as these weaklings that cannot fend for themselves, that if you want to take advantage of us, you can. Like, that is so disrespectful. Like, you women need to go to like a psychiatric care facility and get your lives right, because not only did this woman not only put herself in danger, she could have got shot. The darker exotical friend could have got shot at that party for not performing a sexual act in a way that these unambiguous black men wanted at this party. And it's the simple fact that she had to come to her Airbnb and have it destroyed. Like, no one had to like give that girl a house or a home. No one had to give that darker skin exotical shelter. No one had to do shit for you, girl, but you sat up here and destroyed a friendship that could have lasted a lifetime. But that's just what these dark-skinned women and these dark-skinned exoticals are about. They are not for us. They do not care about us. They do not love us. And they are just as much out to get us, just as these unambiguous black women. I do not care if these women benefit from featureism, colorism, lookism, whatever the fuck it is. Like, I do not trust them, along with this other woman. Like, I only stand with light-skinned women, MLS women, and women of my phenotype. And I truly believe that us as lighter-skinned exoticals, or what I call the OG exoticals, we should not allow darker-skinned women in our environments at all at this point. Because guess what? She should have just left her ass on that street crying her dark skin tears. Because all of you black women cry your dark skin tears after you don't take accountability for your actions, after you done fucked yourself up. It is not our priority or responsibility to clean up your messes as exotical women, as OG exotical women, as MLS women, as light skinned women. We do not owe you shit, like, at all. But anyway, that's the video, guys. I love you so much. Thank you guys for all of the amazing feedback that you guys have been giving me in my email. I have over 30,000 emails currently, and I'm trying to get through all of your story times. And we will be having subscriber mail playlist now because I have decided to, share some of the stories that are in my email. I probably have content for the next 3 years, guys, because there's so many stories. Like, there's long stories like this, and then there's shorter stories, but I will be sharing them more. And I thank everybody for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing on my channel, and just enjoying my content altogether. And it is the Madame, the Exotical Tax Collector, and that was our video for today. And thank you so much to my beautiful subscriber that was brave enough to send me this email. And I send you love and well wishes. Ciao.